Have you ever shared a little too much about your life only to regret it later? Whether it's your relationship, your finances, or even your spiritual journey, we've all been there. In today's video, we're diving into why keeping certain parts of your life private, especially as a woman of substance, is one of the best decisions you can make. Now, I'm not saying you should turn into a recluse or stop enjoying life, but some things are better kept between you and your closest circle. In this age of social media, it feels like everyone's broadcasting everything all day, every day, from who they're dating to how much money they're making to what they have for breakfast. It's nonstop oversharing. And we've all had that pressure to share, thinking that's how we stay relevant or connected. But here's the thing. Oversharing can attract the wrong kind of attention, and I've seen it cause unnecessary drama, envy, and even damage to reputations. If you're new here or returning, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Tiffany Celeste of Your Wellness Era. I create content that will help you become your best self by leveling up your mental health, prioritizing your self-care, evaluating your relationships, and creating a lifestyle of ease. So if any of these things sound interesting to you, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications, and please like the video. So sit back and listen in on this advice and life lessons on why saying less will always be your best move. Stay until the end and I will come back with additional commentary and 3 tips on how to stay private and mysterious. Let's get into the video.
This might strike a nerve, but I want to encourage you to stop talking so much this year. Okay, and not only stop talking so much, stop posting so much about your plans and your new ideas until they finished. Okay, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, you're supposed to keep them to yourself, right? And not because your life is supposed to be so private and mysterious. It's not because your plans and your goals are bigger than the next person's, but the things that God put on your heart, a lot of them you're supposed to keep sacred. And a lot of times we be consulting with other people about our plans before we even pray about it, before we even think them out ourselves, and we speaking too fast and too much. Keep it to yourself. Okay, Beyonce, J. Cole, some of the biggest artists in the game, when they pop out and they drop an album, you might wake up at midnight and you got a whole freaking Beyonce album or a whole freaking J. Cole album on Spotify or whatever program you use. You feel me? So if you got something on your heart that you're thinking about pursuing, keep that to yourself, because you don't want the bad energy. You don't want nobody hating on the idea. You don't want nobody putting how they feel and projecting how they feel about your dreams onto you. So keep your stuff to yourself.
If you're an oversharer, you've come to the right place. Here is my checklist to help you to shut your mouth, and it's really practical. Before you share any piece of information, I want you to ask yourself these 5 questions. Number 1, is this an appropriate piece of information to share? Sounds obvious, but that's why it's the first question, because it's a really fundamental question. Number 2, and now we're really getting to the critical stuff. What am I hoping to achieve by sharing this information? Is it support, solution, sympathy, attention? Clarify that in your mind. If you're looking for sympathy and attention and even solutions, speak to a therapist. Number 3, is this a safe place to share this information? The workplace with your colleagues is not a safe place to share such information, but the setting of your therapist's office is. Number 4, does this person have a record of stewarding sensitive piece of information correctly? Basically, can I trust this bitch? If not, keep it closed, keep it moving, just because we always need to think about worst case scenario, we need to ask ourselves, if this piece of information gets leaked, what are the potential ramifications of that? I know, good, isn't it?
By talking too much in a meeting or in any kind of situation, you make people inadvertently smell weakness on you. A lot of communication between humans is nonverbal. We feel, we sense something from you, and it communicates, and we have an impression. And people who talk a lot generally give an impression of they don't know how to control themselves. Whereas people who kind of say a little bit less, kind of speak in riddles almost, who say, yeah, that's great, I'll think about it, or whatever, gives off an impression of power, as if they know more than they actually do. Mm-hmm. Because the game of power, a lot of it has to do with appearances. So I studied, for writing the book, some of the most powerful people in history, kings and CEOs and presidents, and inevitably they had that quality, or they knew how to control their tongue. The other thing is, if you talk too much, you're going to inevitably say something stupid.
Right. I don't talk so much anymore. Life has humbled me and made me very quiet. I have a superficial character that when people get to meet me, they get to meet. I have a different character for my family that definitely bears scars, so she's quite protective. I have one for my friends that bring out the happiness and the best in me. But I keep my sadness to myself. Because I've learned over time that people don't want to hear about your burdens in case it burdens them. So when you're better, they want to play. And when you're bad, you're on your own. So I don't speak so much anymore. And I've learned that I am all I have.
You must learn who is appropriate to talk to when you're struggling. I know she your friend, and I know y'all like to gossip, and I know he your boy, and he gonna back you. But when you become wise, you understand, listen, who you need to go to get the answer that's gonna get you through, not the person who's gonna give you the answer to make you feel better staying yourself.
It's not even, our problem is we don't not only know who to talk to, but our problem is we talk too much. We don't know who to listen to, right? Because one of the main issues in prayer is that we spend so much time talking, we don't want to listen to God. And so you're not only talking to your friends too much, the wrong ones, but you're letting too many people talk back to you. When was the last time you went to God in prayer, prayed, and waited on what he had to say back? Because that's what meditation is. Meditation is praying, but I'm listening for what the next direction is. How do I know God's voice? Same way, in this room full of people, if my mama was in here and called my name, I would know her voice because I got a relationship with my mama. Now, for most of you, God knows your voice, but you don't know his.
So I really need more women to understand this. Speak less. You don't have to tell somebody how to treat you. You don't have to tell somebody all of your boundaries and your standards. All you have to do is act on them. So if you're not the type of woman that's going to sleep with a guy soon, you don't have to verbalize that. Just show that in your actions. Because a lot of the time, women will give the blueprint, and now, you know, the guy, he knows what to do to get what he wants. So the less that he knows, that gives you the time and opportunity and space to just see what he would have done on his own without you directing him or, you know, thinking that you're doing something by telling him how to earn your love. You don't tell anybody how to earn your love. You sit back, you see how they act, what they'll do on their own merit, and you move accordingly. All right. So women who date smart, they speak less and they observe. So stop talking so much. He doesn't need to know every single thought that you have, how you move, what kind of woman you are. Show him what kind of woman you are. All right. Peace.
Stop telling everybody everything. They don't need to know. And more importantly, psychologically and in general, this kind of hurts you more than it helps you. Fine to get advice from people, but when you're starting something, you have an idea or a vision, and you go and tell all your friends what that idea and vision is, psychologically, your brain is tricked into thinking it's already been done because you're talking about it. You're talking about the results that it's gonna create, or how big you want to get it, or how genius of an idea it is. And it's good to put those thoughts out into the universe and just be really positive about what you have, but build that on the back end and then talk about the result. Talk about it when it's about to be released. And then generally speaking, everyone doesn't always have your best interest at heart. I would hope most people in your life support you and love you, but you're going to meet people along the journey that you just don't click with, and you really don't know how that could turn out with the information that you give. And everyone does not have to know your next move. It's actually encouraged. Move in silence so that you can know how hard you did this for yourself. Because then when you start telling people about everything that's going on in your life, it then becomes external validation, and now you feel like everything that you told people has to come true because they know. You could work on something for 4 years and never tell a soul, and it just doesn't work out then. But then 8 years later, it really works out and blows up in whatever you wanted it to happen. Be mindful about what you say because everyone doesn't need to hear it.
You got to stop telling people everything that you got going on, honey, because they only going to tell you their opinion or what they think or if they went through something. And the next thing you know, you're going to end up on the west side and God trying to tell you to go to the south side where all the good stuff is at. But you want to listen to this person because this person done went through that and they know what they talking about. And the whole time God's saying, that's not your journey though. That's not the journey he has for you. Some of y'all walking and y'all don't even know where y'all walking to. Y'all just going, just out here, just living. Don't even know what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing. Don't have a clue what your calling is, what your passion is. You don't even know what you like, what you don't like, because you keep listening to everybody else. Yeah, that part.
Okay, this is it. You talk too much. What do I mean by that? I mean just that you talk too much. You getting with these guys, you just met them, you telling them your whole life. You tell them all your problems. You tell them about every broken relationship you had and how hurt you was and what the last guy did to you and all of that. You telling your whole life. And what you're really telling them is how desperate you are. You're showing so much desperation. It is such a turnoff. And so you wonder why dude don't want to call you back. You wonder why you never heard from him again, because you talk too much. You're telling too much of your life. And now he don't have to figure out anything about you because you telling him everything. You need to step back, keep your mouth shut, stop spreading your whole life and telling everything about your whole life to this guy. Let him figure some things out on his own. All right? Slow down. That's my tip.
So some of us talk too much. We're with friends, we're always yapping, we're always talking too much, sharing too much, speaking too much. Your plans, things that you're thinking about, ideas that you have, and only to find that some of your friends have beat you to the jump. They've opened that business that you were inspired to. They've gone off and done that great thing that you were thinking about because you talk too much. It's very difficult for us sometimes to shut it, to just be quiet. If you're in the company of people and you walk away not knowing much about the people you were speaking to, but they know a lot about you, you spoke too much. Tone it down. Listen more than you speak. Share only what is absolutely necessary and build your empire silently. I'm going to say this as often as I can until we all start believing in it. My name is CJ Benjamin, always in the mood to make it right.
I used to be someone who overshared because in my mind, I thought that if someone shared something with me, I was obligated to divulge information about me also. To me, I thought we were bonding. This was a huge mistake on my part because time after time, things that I shared was thrown back in my face later. And let me tell you, after some painful experiences, I realized that not everyone in your life needs to know everything about you. It became clear that too much exposure can lead to people overstepping, judging, and sometimes even sabotaging you. And I don't want that for you. If you're a woman looking to build a life of respect and substance, the more private you keep your personal matters, the more power you hold. Privacy is protection. Beyonce is a perfect example. She's a superstar, always in the public eye, but you rarely hear her talk about her personal life outside of her music. She has mastered the art of privacy. When she does speak, people listen. She's proof that you can be both visible and mysterious, and that balance keeps her respected. So if you want to have that Beyonce effect, use these 3 tips to help you to stop oversharing and maintain your privacy. First, set boundaries. I know you guys hear me talk about boundaries a lot, but like I said, setting boundaries is the hill I will die on. So set boundaries for what you want to share. Before you speak or post, ask yourself, does this person really need to know this? Creating boundaries for what you share helps protect your privacy. Tip number 2, practice the pause and reflect rule. Take a moment before you hit send or before you start talking and ask yourself, is this going to help or harm me in the long run? That pause can save you from revealing too much information. Tip 3, Share with intention, not emotion. When you are in an emotional state, whether you're excited, angry, or hurt, you're more likely to overshare. Wait until your emotions settle and you can think clearly before you decide what to share. At the end of the day, keeping certain parts of your life private, whether it's your dating life, finances, or your home life, protects your peace. Not everyone needs to know your business, and when you reveal too much, you give people the power over your narrative. Instead, maintain that air of mystery, focus on your goals, and let your actions speak for themselves. If you're ready to make privacy a priority and get your life back on track, I've got you covered. Download my free life audit worksheet, which is designed to help you assess and improve 8 key areas of your life so you can get back on track and start living with more peace, purpose, and ease. I'll link it in the description box and in the first pinned comment. So tell me in the comment section, do you agree or disagree with the points made in this video? What areas of your life do you think should be kept private? If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos, and share this with someone who you know might need to hear this message. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.